So our question is, as you have given a circle whose center is C. Okay, a circle having center C and the measure of central angle ECF is equal to 70 degree and measure of arc DGF is equal to 200 degree. We have to find two things: measure of this arc DE and measure of arc DEF. Okay, so let's start how to solve. Question number 1, practice set 3.3, chapter circle. So question number 1, how to solve. Solution is very important. Okay, so let's see. First we'll enter in the circle, for which we will write in circle with center C. Okay, so in circle with center C. After writing this, we can see the measure of central angle is equal to 70 degree. Okay, since measure of angle ECF is equals to 70 degree. Since measure angle ECF equal to measure arc EF by central angle property. So as we know that, I already explained to students that whenever any arc is formed or any arc is intercepted by central angle, then the measure of central angle and that arc is same. So that's why we can write this step. After that we can see measure of ECF is given in the textbook. Okay, so we can find the value of measure arc GF. Therefore measure arc EF equals to 70 degree. Okay, now if measure of EF is 70 degree, we got. Now we'll find the measure of arc DEF with the help of this arc. So how to find? Therefore measure arc DEF equals to 360 minus measure arc DGF. I have written this step because circle is equal to 360 degree and we know that we have to find this arc measure. So we'll subtract the measure of this 200 and we'll get our answer. So 360 degree minus 200 is equal to 160 degree. Okay, so we got the value of measure arc DEF at 160 degree. After that, okay, we got the measure of arc 160 degree. Now we have to find measure of arc DE. So how we find? Therefore measure arc DE equals to, as we got the value of DEF, here we got the value of arc DEF. So we'll write measure arc DEF minus. We note that the value of measure arc EF, so we'll subtract that measure arc EF equals to. Okay, now just substitute the value DEF, we got 160 degree and minus arc EF 70 degree. Okay, so after subtraction we got the value is 90 degrees. So here our final value of arc DE is equal to 90 degree. So in this way we have found all the values which we have asked in the question. So first what we got? EF. The measure of central angle was 70 degree. I will repeat again so that you all can understand very easily. So here which information is given in the question, quickly I will revise. You can see the center of circle is C and the measure of central angle is 70 degree. So with the help of central angle property, the arc formed by subtended by central angle are same. So we got the value of arc EF 70 degree. Now for our DEF we use this property. As we know that measure of circle is 360 degree. So we'll minus the value of DGF which is given in the textbook. So we subtracted, we got the value of DEF as 160. Now we have to find value of DE. So with the help of DEF and EF, by subtraction we got the value of major arc DE. So in this way we got all the values which is asked in your textbook. Please note down this properly. Thank you. Now we are going to understand a new problem of the same practice set 3.3. Okay, so what is given in the question? You can see a triangle QRS is inscribed in the circle. Okay, center of circle is not given, but so we have to prove these three arcs are congruent. But one thing is given in your question is the QRS triangle is an equilateral triangle. So let's see how to solve. Question number 2. This is question number 2 of practice set. Okay, so let's see how to solve. In given circle, we can see that, as I told you, this is an inscribed triangle. Triangle QRS is inscribed in circle. Okay, after writing this, one information given. Triangle QRS is an equilateral triangle. What is the meaning of equilateral triangle? Equilateral triangle. After that, you have to write here from where you got this information. This is given in the textbook. And as we know that any triangle which is equilateral, then all sides of triangle will be congruent. Okay? So therefore, by property of equilateral triangle, side RS congruent side, QS congruent side, QR. Okay, now we got all three sides of this triangle are equal with the help of property of equilateral triangle. After that, what we can see, the sides are of triangle. But if you are talking about circle, then these side will be chord. Triangle के लिए ये sides है, लेकिन जब आप बात करेंगे सर्कल की, तो सर्कल के लिए ये साइड नहीं है, ये chord है. तो हम लोग साइड को भी क्या लिखने वाले हैं? chord लिखने वाले हैं. So therefore, chord RS congruent chord, QS congruent chord, QR. Okay. तो आपका साइड सेम था पहले, साइड ऑफ द ट्रायंगल वाज सेम, बट नाउ इफ यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट chord, then the chord is for circle which also will be congruent. And as we know that, what we know that congruent arc, if all chords are congruent, then the corresponding arc also will be congruent. So therefore what we can write, arc RS congruent arc QS congruent arc QR. What will be the reason for this? Corresponding arc of congruent chord. Okay, so now as we know that we have to find the value of angle QRS, so we'll take the arc QS. Okay, so first we'll try to find the measure of arc QS, and for that we'll take QS and QS over here, because all the arcs are congruent to each other, and because of this property we can take any one of the arc according to our solution. Okay, so arc QS, we can write over here QS because RS is also equal to QS. Arc QS is already given, and in place of QR we can see that QS is also congruent, so we can write arc QS. So 360 Therefore 3 time arc QS equals to 360. After that we can see this is multiplying, bracket ka meaning multiply. So arc QS will transfer that side, this 3 will transfer that side. Therefore arc QS equals to 360 upon 3. After dividing this you will get the value of arc QS is equal to 120. Okay, now after getting the value of arc QS, we can see all the arcs are equal. So therefore we can write arc QS congruent arc. We got the value of QS, we can write QR also. Arc QR equals to 120 from 1. Why? Because all arcs are congruent. So if the measure of one arc is 120, then the measure of all arc will be the same. Now, as we know that RQS is the addition of RQ and QS. So therefore, measure arc RQS equals to measure arc QS plus measure arc QS and plus RQQR. Okay. Now we write down 120 plus 120. Therefore, finally you got the value arc RQS equals to 240. Measure RQRS is equal to 240, which is our final answer. Okay, so in this way you can get the values as the asked in question. So again I will repeat very quickly. Okay. Now as we know that this is a circle in which an inscribed triangle QRS is given in the question. We had asked two things. Number one, we have to prove all arcs found by these sides are congruent. And second thing, we have to prove this angle is 240. So what we will do, for how to start? First we enter in the circle, then after that we write QRS is inscribed triangle. QRS is inscribed in the circle. After that we know that this is an equilateral triangle which is given in the textbook as a question. After that we know that property of equilateral triangle that all sides will be congruent because equilateral triangle. After that if sides are congruent, side is for triangle, but if you are talking about circle, that will be chord. So we had to write chord. As we know that chords are congruent, then the corresponding arc also will be congruent. So we had got this and I written the value. The reason for that, this is equation number 1. Now as we know that if we are adding all the arc, it will be from a complete circle. So measure of this will be 360 degree. Measure of circle will be 360 degree. After that we know that in equation 1 all chords are congruent. So we can write this. Okay. And after writing this, we got 3 times QS. Why I have taken QS? We have taken any 1. Okay, after that 3 is multiplying over here, it will be divide. And we got the value of QS. If the measure of one arc is 120, then all arc equal to 120. So I have written over here. And as we know that RQS is the addition of RQ and RS. So I have written over here 120, 120. And after adding that, you got our final answer. Okay, note down. This is third problem of chapter circle practice set 3.3. This is the I think last question. So let's see how to prove. First we'll see which information is given in the textbook. So they are given that in the circle chord AB congruent chord CD. Only this much information is given and we have to prove arc AC congruent arc BD. So let's see how to prove. Given this much information is given in the textbook. Okay, so using this information we'll try to prove which we have to prove. Okay, so if chord are congruent, the corresponding arc also will be congruent. So therefore in place of chord, what we will write arc. arc AB congruent arc CD, because corresponding arc of congruent chord. Okay, so with the help of this property we got the proof of arc also. After that we can see arc AB is equal to arc AC plus arc CB. Okay, arc AB equal to measure of arc AC and arc CB. So this much we will write. Therefore, arc AB is the measure of AC part plus CB. So we'll write arc AC plus arc CB equals to. Now arc CD. If we are talking about arc CD, we can see arc CB plus arc BD. So arc CB plus arc BD. But how? Write down the region for this also. Addition of arc. Okay, so this is the second region. Now we can see CB and CD are same, so we can cut this. Now we are left with arc AC congruent arc BD, which we have to prove. So very simple proof for the third question of practice set 3.3. So in this way we have completed this practice set. Okay, I hope you all will understand very easily. So again I will repeat very quickly. In circle chord AB chord CD are congruent. This was given in the question. After the help of chord, with the help of chord, we got arc AB congruent arc CD by corresponding arc of congruent chord property. And after that we can see arc AB. This arc AB is the addition of arc AC and arc CB, and arc CD is equal to addition of arc CB and BD. So in this way we got this step. After that we can see CB are same, so we can cut it out and we will left with arc AC and arc BD, which was we have to prove. Okay. Thank you so much for attending lecture very sincerely. Thank you. I hope you will understand. Thank you. Note down.